Welcome to the LANCave, where we're living as nerds. I'm Patrick, joined by Owen. We're sitting
Hello.
here talking gaming, video games, gaming news, nerd stuff, dorky things. I'll ramble about Magic the Gathering or Dungeons and Dragons, like whatever, because that's what we do. We're here every single week talking about gaming news and rambling about other things that come up in our heads or in your head. If you want to drop us a comment and tell us what you think of our show or what we're talking about, and we'll probably give you a shout out. So that's what we do here.
Shout out.
Yeah, that's what we do. How you been?
Tired, but
Yeah.
we surviving. It's another day in paradise, or as close as we can to it.
Yeah. Isn't that white people's the term for please kill me?
I say living the dream.
Living the
at work.
dream, yeah.
That's what I always say at work. So that's what I normally go with. By the way, hopefully, if you know anybody down south, hopefully everybody is safe. Thinking about you.
Yeah.
Know that it seems like I don't know how much damage was done. I'm sure that stuff's going to get collected and all that stuff.
Yep.
But I know that there's a whole bunch of people without power and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everybody's okay. Check in on your loved ones, all that good stuff.
Definitely.
And, be safe out there, folks. You never
Yeah, we
know
hope
what's
you
going to
are.
get you in 2020. So
Exactly. This is and double hurricane is not something we would have predicted. Whitney, I don't know if you knew this. Like Whitney's really into like weather and like storm trackers, and like she wanted to like be a storm chaser, like from Twister.
sure. I'm into tornadoes specifically.
And like she loves like all kinds of weather patterns and stuff like that, and so she's been tracking it, and she was watching some like predictions on it, and one of the guys who's like, I can't remember his name, but he's like usually really level headed, and he was like, this is insane. Don't just try to stay in and ride it out. And I haven't watched the news about it lately because it's frightening. So do what's right for your mental health, but do check on the people who are in the area, because make sure everyone's safe. Yeah.
So let's go lighthearted now.
Yeah, let's get a little lighthearted. I know you and I both been playing some chill games. How's Kind Words? You've been
So I won't say too much about it because I still got to record our show on it, but I did stream it the other day. I understand if you watch the stream that I was probably a little quiet on it. That's because I was trying to keep it chill and quiet for the kid, but the game was easy to hear and stuff. So if you want to check that out, and it's also pretty big print, so you can see literally like everything that I type to people. But it's an interesting experience. I'm looking forward to talking about it for a few minutes. I hope to record that this weekend, and hopefully we can get it out at the beginning of the month, sometime in there. But it, I think I have picked an avenue, which I will talk about a little bit on Ex Libris, but I think I got some feedback that maybe I should try and pick some road less traveled type games. And so I have a vast library of stuff that probably people have never heard of. And that's why I went directly with this one, because I don't think anybody that I know has heard of it. So that's probably going to be the direction of the show. That doesn't mean I'm not going to play some games that I just simply missed.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a good opportunity to highlight stuff maybe you've never heard of before. So I think that I'm going to be going a little bit that direction, but every once in a while there'll be some other games in there as well. I have my SNES Classic, and there's some stuff that I missed as a kid on there, and there's just so many PS4 games as soon as I get my PS4 hooked up to this. So.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that's we hadn't talked about that aspect of Ex Libris, but it makes sense as with a backlog. A lot of times, like, your backlog is those games that you're like, yeah, I got it either for free or crazy discount, and you're like, I'll get to it eventually, and you got to play the new hotness that's in front of you all the time. And sometimes you gotta, and it's nice to be able to pull in to those little gems, or at least hopefully they're gems when it comes to it. I'm playing the opposite. I'm playing the game I think everybody's been playing, and I played Fall Guys because it was free for PlayStation, and I was like, okay, well, I threw it in my cart because that's what I do. And then I saw everyone playing it, and I was like, okay, well, I'll give it I'll just try it out because it didn't seem like it would be that fun until I started playing it, and I'm like, this is just crazy addicting. It's ridiculous and hilarious and addicting, and I love it.
Did you get a
Absolutely.
crown yet?
Is that when you actually win?
Yeah,
Because no.
a dub.
But but I will say that even I think I've mentioned this on the show. Like I'm a really like good loser. Where like if I lose, I'll be like, for the most part, I'll be like, okay, that was pretty cool though, or that was fun. In this case, I don't get angry, but I'm a little more frustrated than in some games. But I it kind of levels out because there's so much wackiness to it, and it's a numbers game. Like it's not a game that you could be consistently amazing at because of the amount of of crazy situations, and you're put in with so many random people every time. At least I would imagine that the majority of people wouldn't be like really good at this kind of game. It's more of just ridiculousness. I mean, the controls are wonky, but purposely. Your guy falls down and can't get back up very easily.
Yeah.
So I love it though.
And it's good that you became one of the fallen guys, because what I found out is that it became the most downloaded PS Plus game of all time,
Of
which
all
is
time,
pretty insane when you think about like it. There's been some Call of Duties
Call of
in
Duty, Metal
PS
Gear Solid
Plus.
5, like really good AAA games that PlayStation gave out, like a couple years afterwards. But even people who purchased the game threw it in there, bought it on PlayStation Plus because it's like, cool, I get a free copy now, I get a digital copy. Yeah. In less than a month, right? In less than a month, it became the most downloaded game on PlayStation Network. It's amazing. And
Most downloaded PS Plus game.
PS Plus game, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's still the Fortnites and everything of the world. I actually don't have the numbers in front of me on like what was the most downloaded, but
Yeah,
that'll
most downloaded
come
PlayStation games. Yeah,
with we'll find out with Piscatella getting the NPDs probably in like a week or two.
yeah,
We'll see what was the most downloaded PlayStation Network game, but I still think it's in crazy good company. I think it's one of those 2020 things that again came along
yeah.
at the right time. Like, man, we're sick of this summer. Summer is supposed to kill everything, and then you just have this goofy, dumb video game
Yeah.
that is goofy, dumb, and fun,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you need right now.
Yeah,
So hats off to it's an indie dev. I should know the dev by now because they
yeah.
tweet all the time. They're even already doing some cool things with charity. If you're
That's
following them on the Twitter verse, they've put out a thing where if you have a brand that you would like to make into a skin, you have to place a high bid, and if you win the bid, that money's going to go to some charity. And I think the last time I checked,
great.
it was over
Yeah,
$100,000 for some brands. So pretty cool that they are not just capitalizing on the success for themselves,
yeah.
which they absolutely deserve, but also taking that time to give back as
And
well.
that's what you should do when you get into a stance like that. When you get into a position like that, not to preach, but like you should be giving out to those who can't be in that. Especially in this case, it's like winning the lottery at this point.
It's
Um,
developed by Mediatonic and
Mediatonic.
published by Devolver. So hey,
Gotcha.
our friends. I'm saying my friends like
Yeah,
they're my friends now over at Devolver, but they might as well be with how much I love their games. But Mediatonic, shout outs, you
and
deserve it.
yeah, and then today, I'm assuming it was today. I mean, that's when like we had the what's it called? We had the Gamescom 2020, which we'll talk about here in a bit. Gamescom live was happening, and they announced the season 2, or at least they talked about some details of season 2. Which to me, it wasn't anything groundbreaking. It was just like more ridiculous stuff. We're gonna have new maps. New costumes, which is exactly what I'd hoped for. In one, you can play new stages, and two, I'm assuming that the costumes, I didn't hear on this part, but I'm assuming the costumes for this season are only going to be on this season. So you collect them and then to move on to the next season. So if you got that swag that you got from season 2 and you're playing in season 4, season 5, you can show it off and collect them all, which I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I've
and they
only
need new
collected.
maps. That keeps the sustainable because there was already like some complaints from some people in terms of like the streamers who play this game like all day, like the people who, and there's other people that play the game all day too, but the people who just have like patterns and maps and stuff memorized. If they want to keep the game going, they really are going to have to continually change it up. But I
Yep.
think that they have a real opportunity to do that. I think that with a game like this, there's a lot of design fun that can be
Yeah.
had, and skins make money, baby.
They do make money. I didn't even see. I admit I played. So I meant to just try it out for like your 20 or 30 minutes or so. I
Yeah.
ended up playing for an hour and a half. I didn't get into like anything other than the stages. So I don't know if the skins. I'm assuming the skins are a couple bucks. I didn't look.
I
So
actually don't know how much
I
they
have
are.
no idea because you can unlock them as you're playing, which is all I've done. But I admit I do not know that. But I had a blast playing it, and everybody else is too. So, in things that people aren't doing, things and the category of things that people aren't doing, VR still being pushed. Facebook's rebranding Oculus as Facebook's Reality Labs, and I was doing some quasi research on this, and I didn't realize that they'd rebranded the research development portion of Oculus into they called it Facebook Reality Labs. I guess they're now just using that as a blanket term, but I think that's needed. Since they basically own it, as much as I like that the name Oculus, as much as I want that to be pushed into the forefront, it's like Facebook owns it. It's easy name recognition, it's brand recognition. So I hate saying it, but I think it's a smart idea.
I think that it's smart. Like, I think that if you're not in the gamer space, and I say gamer with a grain of salt
Sure.
because I know some people don't like that term as much as they used to. So we're not just talking about the gamers that are toxic, but like we're talking about gamers in general. Like, Facebook isn't very popular with the nerds. I saw a number of comments that are like, hey, anybody want to buy my Oculus? And I get it. This came on the heels of them announcing last week that starting soon, you will have to use a Facebook account to sign into the Oculus Store. Now, they did say that you can still have your gamer profile. So, like, you can still be anonymous while playing Oculus games. You're not going to be like real name. You're not going to be Owen sitting there playing your game unless you want to be. But they are requiring a Facebook login. Something that the original creator of Oculus said would never happen, but that was before he was ousted from the company. So it didn't come as a shock to me. I thought that given that it was owned by Facebook, you would have had to log into Facebook already, but apparently you didn't. So cool. But I don't know. I think Oculus is a cooler name than Facebook Reality Labs.
I agree. I think that I'm with you on that. I was thinking more just from a marketing perspective, and I can think of quite a few other names that I'd throw out there. If you were trying to get the geek cred, right, then you can throw out like because geek versus nerd, whatever, we're gonna have the discussion versus that, but like Reddit or something like that, having that in front of it, like people be like, oh yeah, dude, I want the Reddit Rift or the Reddit VR. Funny enough, I ended up using Oculus VR twice this past weekend. I was with a buddy of mine, Trevor. If you've listened to Breaking Cinematic Universes, he's my co-host on there, talking about comic book movies and cinematic universes and all that. And we were doing something for his during his fiance's bridal shower. Went over to a main event, and they had not only had Beat Saber, which I admit I had not played and love it, and we also played another VR game where it's like a team-based shooter kind of thing, and it proved what I think about VR. It's really great in short stints. It's okay in like longer stints, but it gets a little weird after, in my opinion, after like 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so. Like, it's a little disorienting. That's just my opinion about it. But in playing those games, I was like, this is a blast. And then funny enough, Vader, because the Vader Immortal was Oculus, locked into Oculus, now is on PlayStation. So I'm like, I may need to bring out my PSVR and play some of that. I need the Move controllers for that though. What's that?
You can get Beat Saber on PSVR as well.
I can get Beat Saber on. So I was like, you know what? Now I think I may have to budget for that. I know I'm budgeting for my PS5, and it's like you got to be an adult. You got the money, but like, and I need the Beat Saber. I would need the PlayStation Move controllers, and I would need it for Vader Immortal as well. So I'm like, maybe we just have to invest in that.
Yeah, they have the event coming up soon where they're rumored to be announcing the second Oculus Quest, which is the wireless iteration of Oculus, and then I'm hoping that Sony is going to be making a wireless PSVR. So at this point, I wanted to get the first Quest. I waited too long, and so now I'm on to waiting for either second gen PSVR, which I would probably actually prefer, just to keep my preferred ecosystem.
Sure.
But if they don't make a PSVR 2 that's wireless, I would probably get whatever next Quest thing comes out, because what I want to play Alex. I want to play you have to have a plug for the current Quest. I'm hoping that the second Quest is powerful enough to where you don't have to plug in to play Half-Life Alex for that one.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you have to have a plug because of the power, I'm assuming, like the...
Yeah, there's a lot of games you can play on the Quest, but it's something called Oculus Link or something like that, and I think it uses the computer to maybe supplement some power.
Okay.
I'm speaking way out of turn. If somebody wants to correct me, they absolutely can.
Yeah, no, I get it. And as much as I would like it to be untethered, that may be part of my disorientation on playing... playing this past weekend. I will say I wasn't as disoriented, or didn't feel that way playing the Star Wars Void, which I was thinking about putting in here. I should have put it in our notes. They're permanently closing Star Wars Void, or the Void in general, the VR experience at Disney Springs. So I'm kind of sad about that, because that's quasi local to me. And that thing was a blast. I wasn't disoriented there, but I don't know if it couldn't have been a wireless setup. I thought it was wired. You know what? I got a backpack. That's what it was. Backpack. Yeah. That's what it was. I had the backpack on, but I didn't feel like trapped. I still could move around. I probably looked like a complete dork, but like I can move around all right, as opposed to like moving my head and feeling the cables move behind me. I'm still thinking about playing Resident Evil in VR though. So I mean, I have it, so
might as well, dude.
Might as well. Also, might as well pre-order that PS5, or in this case, sign up to be notified that you could be part of the pre-order of PS5. This was PlayStation announced on their website, and still up last I checked. Being able to sign up with your gamer tag for a chance to be part of the first wave of pre-orders. To me, I also think this is smart, because you're pre-ordering directly from them. And if you're pre-ordering directly from them, as you guys know, that means that they're not going to take a hit on their profit margins. So if you feel like giving Sony a little bit more money, you can do that and get it directly. If you've got like a local mom and pop shop that you want to go to, and they do that. I don't know any that do new consoles, but if you do, totally support them as always. But I thought it was interesting. I almost felt like it was the Hunger Games kind of situation. Like I just put my name in there and let's see what happens.
PSN ID, by the way, because
PSN ID. Sorry, yeah,
it's okay. I know the gamer tag is just the natural speak, but speak.
That's the
but I thought it was weird. I immediately checked my email when I heard about it. I did have the email from Sony. I put my name in before I sent it to you, just because I would. Of
course you did.
Even if I have a pre-order, if I manage to get one, sweet, I might sell one or something like that, or help somebody else out who really wants one. Robert might be out there, and if he doesn't get a pre-order, I'm sure there'll be some finagling there.
I did that with a Switch, so yeah, I mean it happens where I was like, someone needed one, I just bought one, and I'm like, I'll give you like swap like no profit, like just get it to somebody who needs one.
the thing that is weird about it is like I appreciate that they theoretically are attempting to go around scalpers in this way in terms of like you have to have a PSN ID. You
Yeah.
can just go create one. It said in the frequently asked questions that'll be it was very vague, but it said something like it'll be based on activity. And so, I'm like, well, I haven't been playing PS4 the last couple of months, like, but I have, 400 PS4 games. Does that count as activity, Sony? Like, or,
Yeah.
like what counts as activity to get it? But whatever. The thing that's
Yeah.
just disappointing about this is just like, okay, you get an email, you get excited, you're like, okay, cool, pre-order is about to do it. That means we should know when it comes out, right? No,
No.
we don't.
I mean, okay, it's 2020. Everything, anything and everything is on the table when it comes to weird stuff. You've halfway joking, halfway seriously said multiple times to me off the show, like these things aren't coming out. The consoles aren't coming out. I still think they're coming out, but I feel like it's a mix of COVID and a mix of the fact that it is 2020, and by that I mean they could, we know that they're happening. They could announce it and say, pick them up in 2 or 3 weeks or whatever it is. Like people would be ready to buy it. To me, I wish that they had announced the price so that way people could ready the wallets, right? Where if they know or don't know whether or not they can do it, announce that beforehand and say, hey, it's going to be this much. Look forward to it. And then if you're needing to wait for the actual release date, but we all know that the big reason they're hiding the release date is it's a game of chicken between Xbox and sort of Microsoft and Sony in this, and we're all getting frustrated. That's how I feel about it.
Yep.
That's about it. Anyways, Nintendo dropped a mini on us though. Like, happened. I don't know if you guys were following. If you're listening to us, then you probably already follow quite a few other people. This was rumored to be happening, and it was basically a partners centric Nintendo Direct thing. This is, in my opinion, this was like the biggest thing out of it was a Kingdom Hearts rhythm-y game. I wish it was a full on Kingdom Hearts game, but not bad. It was. I'm glad they didn't hype it. I think that's basically what you were talking about in the notes. Like, it's a good thing they didn't hype it, because the last time they hyped a Nintendo Direct, we all thought we were going to get some really good Pokemon, and didn't happen. So.
Yeah, and there's also I'll bring another rumor around here is that the Nintendo Switch Pro or next generation Switch or whatever rumor is back again. And there was some other rumors that went around this direct, like maybe that might be coming as well. I really think that just as Patrick said with Xbox and PlayStation, COVID has definitely affected all of these announcements. I think it's affected Nintendo quite a bit in terms of first party games, in terms of a potential console. I think that while they have a recent record of being really good about crunching everything, whenever you take out that in-person collaboration, I think that's tough if you're trying to make a new console to come out. Like, unlike PlayStation and Xbox, where those consoles are in development, and that's not the word. Like, they've gone to
production.
They're in production versus we don't know what state a possible new Switch is in. There's probably a lot of stuff that Nintendo wanted to do that they're not getting to, and so this is where we're lucky that it's not the Wii U and that there is a lot of third-party support. So even if you didn't really care for this mini direct that was dropped out of nowhere and was not hyped at all, at the same time we're still getting content on the Switch, even if it's not anything like what have we had for Nintendo this year? We've had Animal Crossing, which was a huge hit, their second biggest selling game on the console. We've had a Pokemon expansion, and we got something else. Oh, we got Paper Mario. That's it, right?
Yep. And now we're gonna get World of Tanks, which I mean, some I know some people out there like them. I'm not. It's not my thing, but I think that the big thing here, because I did see a lot of people complaining about that, and a big thing that people aren't realizing is like, yeah, work from home can work if you're used to already having some type of remote capability, some type of laptop situation, or just being used to collaborating from afar, right? So that's one, and then two, hardware. Working on hardware at home, not everybody's got a lab set up where they have all the equipment that's needed. That's something that you go into the office and work on in a lab environment to piece this hardware together, to workshop this stuff together. So new systems like this, development on that you can't just do from afar unless you're at a certain point. So yeah, cut them some slack a little bit. Yeah. Speaking of cutting slack, we need to cut Xbox a little slack sometimes, because we don't bash on them all the time.
I don't bash on them at all.
But
I give honest opinions.
We have honest opinions. There we go. That's the way to say it. So Daryl Gallagher was just snagged for the initiative, which is Xbox Studios like super secret dev company, and this is basically looks like it's amounting up to be a pretty good cast of characters over there. I saw this in the article, and you mentioned in the notes as well. They kept referring to it as a quad A studio, an AAA studio, not a triple A. Is that what we're calling? Is that what we're calling first party now, or does that just mean it's a mega studio?
Because Naughty Dog, the AAA studio.
Thank you. So I was like, I don't know what this is about.
I get that. So there's a lot of mystery around it. They've gotten some people. They got some people from Bungie, some people from Crystal Dynamics. Like those are AAA studios. Bungie is a AAA studio. Crystal Dynamics is a AAA studio. So, at the end of the day, it's just another AAA studio. It's just a AAA studio that has theoretically some big talent, and we have no idea what they're doing. To me, this screams new big IP. Like they want, like if they're trying to do this, even though it's like a mystery, I feel like they need the next Halo. They need the next Gears. They need that next big idea. They need that Naughty Dog competitor, and they don't have that. They have some great studios. Obsidian is an amazing studio that they acquired just last year. Not bashing any of the great talent that they have now, but they don't have Naughty Dog. And if you saw today from Gamescom, they don't have Insomniac either. Insomniac has 2 launch titles, dude. And they were also just acquired last year. Like Obsidian's doing work over there. I think if you're comparing anybody to like their biggest talent right now, I think Obsidian is by far their biggest talent. But I still wouldn't put Obsidian on a Naughty Dog level.
Yeah. And I will say that there's a rumor. I do not buy into this rumor, but there was a rumor that's been floating around for quite a while as to what the studio is actually doing. Again, we mentioned, we let you know if it's a rumor and it's not something that we have for certain. But this is like, okay, it's a rumor and we don't even believe it. The rumor is that they're working on Perfect Dark.
I would be down.
I put
that on my predictions during the last showcase that we might see that happen.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'm down with it too. I would be completely shocked if that's the title they're working on, but I'd be happy about it because I loved Perfect Dark. Like, okay, I'm not saying it's better than GoldenEye. From a single player perspective, it's better than GoldenEye. It's a really fun game, and it's a franchise that it hasn't had love for generations. It hasn't had, it just really hasn't had that. What it deserves, in my opinion. So if they're working on Perfect Dark, I will lose it. I will be crazy happy. I will be happier than I was when I saw the Demon's Souls remake trailer that came out, and that's a happy Patrick. So that's the rumor. like I said, I would like it, but I don't think that that's actually what they're working on. I don't think it's big enough. I don't think Perfect Dark is big enough for them. There's too much of a chance for
They
it
can make
to.
it big, though.
They could make it big, but I feel like there's too much of a chance of it not living up to the potential of how many people that they've hired, and essentially going way over budget in comparison to it not being and having name recognition. And it has nostalgia, but does it have enough nostalgia? At the same time, if they were making like a GoldenEye kind of game, and it was James Bond, maybe there's a little bit more. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens on that. Like I said, rumors, and don't want to buy into it too much. What was a rumor, like for a while, was there's a rumor that there's a Netflix Resident Evil TV series being worked on. This dropped. So the rumor for this started, I want to say, January 2019. There was another leak about it earlier this year, but now we have confirmation. Resident Evil Netflix TV series is happening. You probably know how excited I am about this to an extent, but what do you think? What do you think about it before I?
I mean, the thing is like I'm used to the arcadey productions with Mila Djokovic, which honestly the first one was pretty cool in my opinion. After that, like it went on a long time and it went on too long, and she's a fun action star, so she made it work. And so with this, I'm expecting, based on Netflix's history with other shows lately, like I expect whoever they get for this to be legit and respectful to the lore. And so I don't think that I'm going to be in terms of watching it, depending on how much zombie stuff is related. And like if it's like slow burn type show and the zombies aren't the big part of it, like that's something that I could do. Like I'm very interested in like how they handle like Wesker and stuff like that. But I expect it to be good. I expect it to be something that I don't really care for.
It may not be, and like we talk about that on the show. Like just because something isn't your thing, you can still be like, I respect it. It's there for people who like that sort of thing. Horror is my thing. Resident Evil games are my thing. Really excited, but one thing bothered me when I first read it, and I don't know. I'm still kind of digesting this. But the tweet on the script, because you mentioned Wesker, the tweet with the script picture says, when the Wesker kids move to New Raccoon City, the secrets they uncover might just be the end of everything. So for those of you who don't know, Wesker is one of, if not the main villain in Resident Evil. He's like there's a lot of bad stuff that Umbrella does, but like Wesker's kind of like a catalyst that keeps causing a lot of these things because he has his own agenda. So I felt really weird reading that, but now I'm hoping that will be part of it. Like maybe their dad is in on it, and that's part of the mystery, because in the games you don't know that from the beginning. You don't know that he's a villain from the beginning. You're just playing and he's part of your team. He's part of the police force with you, and then you find out he's a bad guy. So fingers crossed, like you were saying, that they know what they're doing with this.
So is this the beginning of Umbrella? Does he run? I don't know anything. Does he run Umbrella?
He does not run Umbrella. He was working with them in a quasi side project, and then he kind of went undercover with Stars. So he was one of their like kind of recruits that they were grooming, and he's like really like kind of went up the ladder and became a big part of Umbrella. So from the gig, he's not the one who runs it. He didn't start it, but then he's worked his way up the ladder.
You can get this and more whenever you get into Patrick's lore videos next year.
Yeah, I hope it's not next year. Did you say next year? I'm really hoping to launch those next month. There's been some things that have delayed my production, but I'm excited.
behind on my stuff too. So
yeah. But like I'm a little like there's a couple things that are kind of delaying it, and I wanna kick it off with a bang, and I want it to be consistent. So when of course I'm probably going to get better as I go along, but I don't want to look back at the first video and go, geez, I had no idea what I was doing.
we try and keep it honest around here. We're working folks just like you.
That's exactly right. That's what the show's all about. So yeah, hope you enjoy watching me and Owen try new things like this.
Please look forward to it.
Yes, please be excited. Gamescom was today. If you want to be excited about something, I thought I had a video queued up, but I didn't.
Opening night.
Gamescom opening night. Like exactly. It is a 3-day event. Sorry, Gamescom opening night live, which they do front load a lot of big stuff in. There's still probably going to be some interesting stuff announced. I was entertained by what I watched of it. I watched most of it. You said you got to watch some
pieces. It's a busy day at work, but I got to watch pieces.
You got to see Doc Brown.
Yeah, that's where I was like, I don't understand. I don't understand how Doc Brown doing Surgeon Simulator 2.
I was waiting for the tie-in, and I don't know how they got him to do it.
I did like his Avengers joke though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see Avengers 26, The Return of the Son of Thanos.
Yeah, I mean, it's Christopher Lloyd, so I was happy about that. It's just a weird, like, awkward thing that didn't really tie in. He just was there to talk about it. I feel like I was like, does someone who is in the development team or like production team, or maybe Jeff Keighley himself, like, knows Christopher Lloyd? Like, I don't know how this happened.
He knows everybody.
That's true. Keighley does. Keighley knows everybody, and he's such like he's like, I've heard from people who have met him and some people who know him, like, that he's genuinely like that nice of a guy, and that's why like good things keep happening to him, because like he's a genuinely nice guy. People enjoy working with him, and that's what happens when you're good guys finish last, but they finish on top. That's what I say. I don't know what's going there. I'm exhausted. We got Dragon Age though. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's where that message from me was like, stop showing me concept art. It's been years. Like, show me some game. And they did show, like, I think some scenery, but the thing about this is, like, this game's still 2-3 years away. Which
I agree.
Disappointing. I think it's similar in a way of like showing us like a screen, like it was better than showing us a screen that says Elder Scrolls 6. I'll say that.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's the exact joke I was going to make. It was better than that. They definitely tipped their hand more. Not that they needed to be extremely secretive with this. I think the fans of the Dragon Age series are a little kinder than the fans of Elder Scrolls. But I'm happy. I figured. I mean, I assumed they were working on something. But yeah, this made me happy. Yeah, like you said, 2 or 3 years away. I'm okay with that. Love the motion capture here. Everybody's doing it now. But it tends to make a more natural movement.
Like they were like at the forefront of it, and I was like, maybe you were. I don't know. Like, I don't have a lot of faith in BioWare right now because a lot of the people have left, and I don't mean to say this meanly, but Anthem.
Yeah.
But I want them to come back. I want to come back. I want this game to be awesome. I did recently pick up Dragon Age Inquisition again, the complete edition on PS4. My wife wants me to play through it, and she wants to do it with me because she's beaten the game several times. I've never beaten it. So at some point, I will do that to get me more in the mood. I just stop showing. Like, show me let's go. Come on.
Yeah. Show me some gameplay. Tease me a little bit about where this is going to take us, because what we saw was a lot of generalities. I'm sure someone's going to post an article where they're like, ooh, look, because of this screenshot and this screenshot, you can piece some stuff together, which, yeah, of course, like, if they're actually showing what they're working on, then you're going to do that. But I agree with you on that. Was there anything else they showed that that stuck out to you? We got Squadrons. If you didn't get to see that,
I only watched it for a second. I'm already buying that game, and
Yeah,
so I didn't like if they were showing anything story related. I'm not gonna
yeah,
go back and watch it. This is a game that was already like day one buy.
sure. I'll
Uh,
click away for you then.
uh, I thought it was funny that I saw that there was like some Star Wars Sims 4, but I figured your wife would dig that because she likes The Sims,
Yes.
right?
She loves The Sims, and I was about to say, I hope you didn't look at it because that is The Sims going to the Disneyland and Disney World Star Wars world.
I attended to it.
So cool. I was gonna say, like, I was about to warn you, and I was like, I don't think he's watching anymore. And like by the time I was watching, it was later. Which I thought I was like, I was trying to come up with like a good joke on that. And I may tweet out something, probably won't. I was trying to come up with a good joke about, like, with COVID going on, it's like, if you can't come to the parks, let the parks come to you, because you can get in. I don't know if you know about this. Like, the parks are open, but you have to go for through a reservation, and they have a certain amount of people that can go per day, and you can't jump between parks and park hop. So if you're local, like I am, quasi local, like you have to actually schedule it, and they're all booked up. Everything is booked up. So it's like, yeah, I guess I can play Sims. Yeah, I think Whitney will probably
Lego
play it.
Star Wars for more Star Wars.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be fun as my son's walking around a little bit more now, and so maybe buy that, have that on the screen, and show him like that kind of easy interaction. That's something that'll probably be cool. After that, really, like, it was just Ratchet, which it was the same. I think literally it was the same video that we've already seen, but I just saw it again, and I was like, got me re-upped.
yeah. No, I Ratchet's an easy buy. I mean, I want to buy it because I think it's going to be fun. I think Whitney will enjoy it as well. But also as a tech demo esque situation with the PlayStation 5, getting this game, it's because we're getting it at launch, or at least I really hope I'm going to be able to get one at launch. I want to see what this thing can do, and like, and by that I need to make sure that I experience quite a few games, but also ones that are really pushing the technology. I know it's the first games that come out on it, but
First part.
easy and first party, yeah. So, and that means it's going to run better. I had the video queued up, but forgot, but was trying to find it. But Skywalker Saga is also one that's going to be an easy buy for me. Some people in the comments were saying, "Well, we already played this game." It's like, well, you didn't. You played the other Lego games, so I'm assuming there's still going to be some repetition, obviously within the story, but it's going to be really fun, and it's going to be consistent, as opposed to trying to play through all of the Lego Star Wars games where you have inconsistencies. This is going to be fun all around.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be some rehash and everything, but like it's just that thing of having all of them. It's just like
Yeah,
it's a Disney Plus factor where it's like you can now watch the Skywalker Saga in its entirety on Disney Plus. Like, it's the same thing, except in this case, it's going to be these Lego games. And like, honestly, if you're any kind of Star Wars fan, like, these are timeless and
yeah.
extremely family friendly, approachable, which I
Oh,
think
I agree.
is also good.
I mean, family. Like you said, you said perfectly. I was going to say family friendly. You said family approachable. It's a perfect way to spell it out, because the games are not only good for the family, they're something that you can all play, but also they're not too difficult. So the kids can play it. The kids, big kids, little kids, everyone can play it and still have fun. They're very forgiving, but still have challenges and things you can unlock. So yeah, I'll probably play through it with Whitney, because they're a blast, and like she's really like detail oriented with it. Like, she has to break everything. She has to like it's which is great, because I don't, it's not that I tend to plow through things, but she will see things that I miss. So, which is another reason I like playing games with her, because like she'll be like, no, go around that corner, like, and I didn't even realize like there was an opening. So it's fun stuff. We also got the World of Warcraft next expansion. We got a teaser for that again.
Yeah, this game looks old.
Yeah, it looks old. It's a 15-year-old game. They've updated the engine twice, I want to say. Frank's probably going to correct me on that, Frank or Tim, but I want to say they've updated the engine twice, but it still looks old. It's still a good game, but it is that old of a game.
Yeah. So if you're into WoW, you're probably still into WoW.
Yeah, you probably are. I've got as you dropping names here. Like I know a couple people who play. I know actually even more than that still play, or people who will go back just for the expansion, check out the new content, and then bounce. So I don't know if I'm going to, because just the amount of time. But this one was delayed because of COVID. So it will be coming out, or allegedly coming out, October 27th, I believe. I have my notes in front of me. But yeah, so I was happy that they're actually going to come out with it. But at the same time, I still think that they need to have a new game. There needs to be a World of Warcraft 2, if you will, or if you called it Warcraft, it would be confusing because the first game is Warcraft. But I think they need to reboot like completely. Just I guess they're making too much money, so they're not going to do that, right?
Even at their like lowest, they're still like several million subscribers. And I'll say I don't know when I'll ever get to it, but I'll say in terms of a good trailer and a compelling trailer to make you actually like want to like be excited about a campaign for a game that you're not normally excited for campaigns for. Cold War does look good. Like that trailer looks good.
Yeah.
They're hyping that game the right way. I also think that from a negative perspective that has a good tone this year, like in terms of like the just government stuff and kind of shady things. The game looks good. They also, I think recently this week, announced pricing schemes where if you buy it on PS4 for $70, they'll give you the cross-gen. So there's that $10 bump, you get the PS5 version. It gets upgraded to the PS5 version. If you want to pay $60 for the PS4 version, you still can. You can do $70 on Xbox for the digital version and get the same deal. But if you buy the disc on Xbox One, you can't upgrade that for some reason, which I thought was strange. If I'm reading that right, somebody can tell me if I'm wrong about that one, but I think that's how I read it.
They're got to be pushing for those digital sales. You make a higher profit margin on digital sales, which is what it's all about. Which is why they've historically been spending less and less on single player campaigns. But at the same time, this looks like something I want to play for the single player campaign.
It's weird that they didn't do it for Sony though. You can still buy the Sony disc and get an upgrade of some sort. So it also makes me wonder if Sony pushed a deal with Call of Duty as they have been for this entire generation.
Yeah, they have. It could be that. I've watched.
And I thought, like, look at how good some
Reagan.
of those look, man.
Yeah, like Reagan looks like Reagan. Like and it wasn't like it's still kind of Uncanny Valley, but like when he popped on screen, it took me a second to go, oh, that's not like footage. That's video game Reagan. Because we're getting to that realm where the graphics are that good, where it looks like the real thing. It looks like actually Ronald Reagan. I've seen quite a few people in the comments and Twitter, and then someone after Gamescom that was like an after party discussion, whatever you want to call it, and she was like, I play Call of Duty multiplayer all the time. I don't play much single player, but this got me excited about the single player campaign. So I'm hoping that it doesn't have to be long, but I'm hoping that it's a good, dense single player campaign, because Call of Duty has some really good campaigns.
Yeah. And then the last thing that only like stuck out to me, not from like a I'm interested perspective, but from just an interesting thing, is that Respawn's doing a new Medal of Honor, which is cool. Medal of Honor VR, and it's on Oculus. I don't know if that's a timed exclusive on Oculus or not, but I just think it's interesting that EA would let one of their studios not do it for PSVR unless like Respawn was like, no, we need to be on the best hardware, which is I think that it didn't say Quest, so I think you do have to have Rift or the Rift S. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I don't know if it's because it's too good for the PSVR in terms of like its technical prowess, but I thought that was interesting. But it looked cool.
Yeah, no, I think it looks good. It's
Dead
not to
franchise.
say what a dead franchise. Yeah, is that what you
Gone for
said?
a long. When was
Yeah,
the last Metal Gear game?
I mean, well, and the last like one or two have been duds in my opinion. No, I think that not only did it look good, and I'm saying this as someone, like I said, who's played a bit of VR. I haven't played an Oculus Quest. I'll admit that. I've not played. What's that?
2012 was the last Medal of Honor game.
Jeez.
Xbox
Okay.
360, PS3.
Yeah, so I would say I mean I know I've seen. I'm not saying it's better than Half-Life Alex or anything, but the graphics looked really good in it, like really good for VR. I'm really impressed, and if VR is getting to be this accessible to developers, not saying all developers, but if this starts, then they're going to make it easier for those who come after them. If that's the case, then VR, we may end up actually seeing more people play VR at home than now, because I feel like there's a big boom of people who bought PlayStation VRs. And then a lot of people are holding on to them like I am, or sold them, as it's not something that it's not as social is really what it boils down to. It's a little bit isolating. It's not as social as the rest of gaming has become. And I think part of it is a lot of the game experiences are rather short. So yeah, if this thing changes that, or if this is one of those games that gets us to that, I'll be pretty happy about it. I'll totally play this if I had an Oculus.
I'm hoping that Sony takes advantage of the fact that before they bought Insomniac developed, I think it was like 2 or 3 Rift games. I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. So I'm hoping that some of that talent is there. I know that they're mainly just going to be doing like Ratchet and Spider-Man, but hopefully, again, the powerhouse that Insomniac is just there now. I'm hoping that means, maybe if they do PSVR 2, then maybe Insomniac launches a PSVR title. That'd be tight.
I think it'd be nice there if they already have people. What's that?
I just said tight. It's 2004.
Basically.
Tight.
Yeah, basically. We still rocking that lingo. I had some that I liked out of this. I'm an Age of Empires fan, so Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. I was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Godfall's still not winning me over. Chorus though, I kept wanting to call this Corvs.
They showed Godfall again.
They showed Godfall again. More Godfall. Yeah. So Chorus. Like I'm not necessarily completely sold on it because I'm going to be playing some Star Wars Squadrons, and I think that'll probably take up some of my flying, fill that need.
I didn't see this trailer. That looks cool.
Oh yeah. It looks cool. I don't know why it's dropping frames here. I'm assuming that's my PC, but. Yeah, I liked what I saw of it. It looks fun. I almost feel like this may end up being more forgiving than Star Wars Squadrons, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's multiplayer, I don't know. It kind of, what's it remind me of? Am I thinking like Zone of Enders? Is that no? No. What's that? It's like Colony Wars. Is that what I'm thinking of? Like way back in the day, PlayStation 2.
Maybe I was gonna say I was trying to kind of place what it may be that I was trying to place what else it reminded me of, but everything I was thinking of, it was like, it doesn't look like that, like Descent or others. I'm like, no, it doesn't look like Descent. Maybe it's just the ship design. It looks fun though. I may check it out. It's on my maybe list. What's on my definite list, which is not on your list, I know, is Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope, because I like scary things, and this looked freaky, and I'm about that. What's probably on both of our lists, or maybe on your list, is 12 Minutes. I think I'm going to leave us on that note, and the idea of games as an experience. And you're kind of doing that with kind words right now, where games can be more than just shock and awe. They can be more than the storytelling element of games is amazing. And this, I didn't realize. I didn't realize the. Sorry, I was just trying to find my notes on it. I didn't realize that James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley were in it.
And Defoe, man.
Yeah, I didn't know Defoe. Okay, I didn't see Defoe's in it. So, I mean, I was already I already was intrigued, and now knowing that cast is involved, I think I'm gonna have to be all in on it.
Super dope, man. Like
Yeah.
everything about this, like it feels kind of similar to Erica in
Mhm.
in kind of just like you just kind of go through it type thing.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, like just that experience, like this. I don't know. I'm all about it. It looked
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I know it's a mystery of sorts. So the other thing that I like about those, the way that games can do it, and books can do this as well. Movies do it when they're a little bit more breaking the fourth wall, but games can show you like something, and that's not necessarily what happened. Like kind of play with the actual narrative, because you're already breaking that perspective, and you're already subverting. What's the term? Not subverting expectations. I'm forgetting the term now, but games, because you're playing a game, and they allow you, they're a little bit more flexible with the narrative. So being able to play into the I think of the movie Clue. I don't. You've seen Clue, right? Tim Curry. Yeah. Okay. So like the ending of Clue, where they're like, "Oh, but well, what about this ending? What about this ending?" They keep like redoing it. That kind of thing. Where games can do that, where it's like you can play another narrative, and that narrative, the other narrative, is not invalid, or maybe it's someone else's perception. So it's a really cool way to play with, with a story. I don't know if that's what they're doing here, but yeah, I'm digging it.
I feel like there'll be multiple endings.
Yeah, I hope there'll be multiple endings. I hope that I hope it's fun. Hope it's intriguing. Any last thoughts on Gamescom Live?
Not really. Again, I think that he did good by putting out expectations. I think that that's been a big sounding board, and he's talked a lot about it as he's been doing Summer Game Fest. Just uh, setting the right expectations, delivering a lot of games, a lot of different kinds of games. While there wasn't a ton that like really stood out to me, I think that he had a ton of variety,
Yeah,
and that was cool. And but the fact of the matter is that there is stuff that stood out to me. There's
yeah,
3 or 4 games, and if you can come away from a presentation being like, "Well, I'm buying that, and I'm
yep,
buying that," and I'm buying, like that, to me is good, because just like you said, like there's a game on there that you're completely into that
yeah,
I'm not. And so I think it was good. I think it was a good opener. I think they did have a problem with the stream, which you probably didn't see if you watched it later, but that was where you could chalk that up to COVID and having to do that off of like just everybody's internet feeds. So that
yeah,
was kind of a bummer for him, because I know it was a big deal that they got to do this. But I appreciate that with everything going on the last 8 months now, that the video game industry has really stepped up in being like, hey, we're still here,
yeah,
still
yeah.
got
Totally.
games.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the time that we needed that. Where everybody is, you have this isolation, but we're not alone here. And video games are a nice outlet, and thanks to the internet, we're able to play games with friends from afar. So, and we need to do that, by the way. We keep saying that, so we'll
Squadrons.
definitely do that when Squadrons comes out. But, anyways, let us know what you thought of that news. Are you still waiting for those PlayStation or Xbox? Which one are you going to pre-order? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you later.